let's crack on with the first and probably last ever episode of Room 102, which we definitely won't get sued by anyone for. We got 3 of the top engineers in the country all on Zoom. Contestant number 1, can you introduce yourself, say your name and where you're from?
Yeah, I'm Andy, I'm from South London, and yeah, you can call me Gas Man God.
Contestant number 2?
Wayne Kirby from Coventry in England.
Up the Coventry. Contestant number 3?
Ian Forbes, Peterborough.
And yeah, we're going to just have a chat about general stuff that you guys encounter in your like day-to-day work that you just reckon should get in the bin and never come back. And then we'll decide amongst ourselves whether or not it goes in, and hopefully have like a fantastic graphic that comes up and like chucks it in. But yeah, budget depending. So we'll kick off. Got Andy, because you've been waiting for this. I'm really looking forward to these.
Right. The first thing I want to put into room 101, room 102.
Room 102.
Sorry, room 102 is smoke alarms. Right now, it ain't smoke alarms as such, because I know they're really, really good and they save lives.
Yeah, I mean, because they do protect us all from fiery death.
No problem with the actual theory behind the smoke alarm, and there's one up in my hallway up there right now. It's up there, and you know, lovely, no problem at all. The problem I got with smoke alarms, right? The moment you start soldering in the airing cupboard, the alarm goes off, right? And you can't stop soldering. You've got to carry on because you've started. These two know what I'm talking about, right? So you're carrying on, and now it's going off beep, 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 in the background, and you can hear the customer coming up the stairs. What are you doing? What are you doing? You're like, it's all right, madam. I'm just doing a bit of soldering. I'm doing a bit of soldering, and you know, you flap it with a tea towel, and you whatever you can get to towel out the airing cupboard. Drives you mad. The moment it stops, the customer's standing there and they turn around to you and they all say the same thing. And you guys are going to agree with me. They go, well, at least we know it works. I'm like, yeah. Bloody know it bloody works. So number 1 thing to go in the bin is smoke alarms when you're soldering in the airing cupboard. Please, put it in.
What do you guys reckon? Is that something that happens a lot?
Yeah, definitely. There's nothing worse than having that ringing in your ears for about 10 minutes after it stopped.
Yeah. It's so annoying.
Also, if they're battery powered and the battery then goes dead and they beep for the next 2 or 3 days and the customer blames you for setting them off.
Yeah,
definitely agree with that.
Or you try and take them off the ceiling and they've never been fitted properly, so you pull the whole thing down.
I never take them down. I just leave them and just let them go off for as long as it takes. And just.
I bought some of them shoe covers, the blue shoes, and you can stretch them over them. It does work, but yeah, they are annoying.
Yeah, smoke alarms, mate. They're going in. Surely they've got to go.
So what would you do? What in an ideal world? What would happen instead? You'd walk in and it would just like you'd have a little like magnet on you and it would turn it off just while you're soldering.
Well, yeah, maybe you've got like a little sort of bibber or something. I don't know. But the problem is, right, when you're soldering, you can't even see any smoke. It's not like the airing cupboard's full of smoke. You know, it's just,
you're just doing it wrong.
Yeah.
There's hardly any smoke at all. But it must be like the right sort of smoke to set a smoke alarm off. I don't know.
They're very
sensitive
it is. to the flux smoke. They are very sensitive. Massively sensitive.
The flux you're using.
It's the flux.
Are you still using that traditional craftsman flux?
That what? Yes, I am. I'm using that traditional craftsman's flux, mate, and I'm loving it.
Other brands are available, yeah?
Yeah. Of course they are.
Yes.
I mean, we did have a briefing about this 10 minutes ago, but yeah, that's right. Nah, mate, I'm happy to chat that one in, because when you said it to me before, that was the only one we discussed, and I was like, what are you talking about? But obviously, I've never been in and soldered in anyone's house ever, so it's something that immediately these two just went, yeah, know exactly what that is.
It just leads to an unwanted interaction with your customer as well. So
yeah,
it should go in just for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Just get it in. Just get smoke alarms in.
Because you want to get in and talk to them and get out without any like interaction with the actual human being.
Get paid out.
All right, Kirby, up to you. Your first one, please.
Right, it's swagging tools. Basically, Joe, if you don't know what that is, it's this stupid device that you can put inside pipe and you can stretch the pipe to save you buying a 10 pence coupler. Yes. Forbes only does it because he knows it winds me up. So yeah, that's my first thing to go in room 102 is the swagging tool.
I think Andy agrees.
Do you know? I mean, when I was at college, we had to use them because I guess the college wanted to save a few pence. Yeah, smashing it in there. Oh mate, the day I left college. I mean, I've got them. I have got them in my toolkit.
Listen, at college, we also used to have to anneal copper with a bending spring and sand. You don't do that anymore.
No, I know.
Because we can buy a pipe bender that costs about 50 quid.
I'm half and half on this one, Curbs, because it does look quite nice.
So does a 15mm socket with no blobs of solder on it.
Yeah, okay.
Forbes, what are you saying?
Definitely not. No. I like the look of it. I really do. I really like the look of it.
No, you're lazy.
It's not a cost.
You can get back on your sofa because you've got less holder.
I'm going to say.
How's that lazy? Hammer. It's more work technically.
Oh, you see, you've admitted
you're lazy.
We've got that on video.
I've always said it's more work. Don't get me wrong. If I had to do 100 sockets a day, I definitely wouldn't be using a swagging tool. I'd be getting the sockets out of the bag. I just like the look of it personally. I really do.
It can't go because it's we've got 1 vote for, 1 vote against, and Andy's on the fence, so we're gonna have to.
It does look nice, Curbs. It does look nice, mate.
Overall,
I just hate the hassle of it and the smashing your hand. And,
I agree.
But you got 2 more, mate, so it's all right.
You'll get one in, Curbs.
Oh yeah, this my second one's definitely going in.
Go on then.
No, we'll wait for that one. We'll go round. Ian Forbes, can we have your first one, please?
Well, mine is chrome cheap isolating valves.
Oh.
They are absolutely shouldn't have no place on any plumbing or heating system in the world, basically, because they are crap. They leak when you don't touch them. They leak when you touch them. They don't turn off. They're just the most pointless thing on this planet, basically. I'd rather go against regs and not fit them on anything. They're rubbish, basically.
It's a real hatred there, isn't there?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. You know that you isolate a toilet at 4 o'clock on a Friday afternoon to change the ball valve, turn it back on again, and it's hammering out.
Yeah,
so you've got to then go to they're pointless. They're rubbish. They shouldn't be on Friday. I don't snatch anything, Wayne. I don't move fast enough. You know that.
That's £40 Wix Vax for. But no, I've got to say, some of the stuff, fittings wise, especially some of them isolating valves are shocking. So I agree with that.
Yeah, I'm down with that one. Like you say, they are totally pointless. You see them where they shouldn't be a lot. You know, you see them on heating pipes and all sorts, and they're even worse on heating pipes. There's just no point. You're never going to touch it because you know it's going to leak.
That was a clean sweep, and to be fair, Forbes, it's going to go in because of like you said, just your utter hatred for it. Like,
yeah, the hatred, the display of hatred.
I know, it was sinister. Your dislike.
We said the other day about this. I was thinking I don't dislike anything, and then it was like service valves.
Oh, there it is. Now I remember.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Gibbs, can we have your second one, please? So we've got 2 each that are plumbing and then one that's just like general life, I think.
Yeah, so my second plumbing one, this is a bit of an odd one because it does go with the territory, but getting wet. Getting wet at work. I hate getting wet. I cannot stand getting wet. I know you're going to get wet sometimes, but it's like when you're up a ladder and you're cutting into a pipe up in the ceiling there and the water comes right down your arm, doesn't it? And it goes down your arm, right down here, down your trousers. You know, it'll be in the middle of winter as well, so it's going to be cold. It'll be cold water, or it'll be bloody boiling hot water coming out of there, dripping down the side of you, and then you're wet. Or you'll be kneeling in a load of water all day, and you're just soaking wet. And I just hate getting wet, really. I hate my clothes getting wet at work. It's just awful. It's just not nice. It doesn't happen too often, but when it does, getting wet is just not good. It's not a good thing.
I am going to say it though, mate. Like, is this not a bit of an occupational hazard?
Well, yes, it is, but you shouldn't get. I mean, you shouldn't get wet that often. Hopefully, should you? But
Unless
when
you've
it
heard
happens,
from-
sometimes you might cut into a pipe and you've cut into the wrong one or something, or you're trying to clear a blockage and all of a sudden it comes out at you and you get soaking wet. You can't do much about it. Sooner or later, it's going to happen, isn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, getting wet.
It's like a fireman and being like, oh, what's the worst part of your job? Fire. Yeah. What do you two think? Is it? I know,
This
like
one,
it can be nice anyway. But what the other two, Kirby and Forbes, what do you think? Is it up there?
Yeah, no one wants to get wet. I don't even like it in the summer. So yeah, I'll agree with that.
Yeah.
How often do you reckon it happens? Like if you get proper soaked?
Oh, not very often. I mean, I've had a few like proper drenchings, like head to toe, but not very often.
No.
But it's just the whole. Oh, it's getting wet.
Yeah, it's not nice.
No.
No, it's not. I totally agree with you. Yeah, definitely. I was nearly in water today when I had to change a sink waste on a wash machine in the sink today, and because all the pipes were back fulling, when I pulled them apart, it absolutely covered me in crappy water from sink pipes. So that's a good one for today, because I totally agree with that.
That's it. You see what I mean, Joe? You didn't mean it to happen, but the water's come out because there's nothing you can do about it, and that you're kneeling right in front of it, and you're gonna get wet.
No, I get it, mate. It just seems a bit like if there's any decent workwear companies watching, then well, if you want to send some stuff through, then you can sort that out.
Yeah.
No, I'm happy. I reckon that goes in as well.
So do I.
It's always the first job of the day as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that
so
can't be nice. If you've got to go in another 5 or 6 houses and you're sodden from 8 a.m.
Yeah, and your socks are wet.
Yeah.
That's not good.
Kirby, you're number 2. I'm looking forward to this now because you've hyped it up.
Flathead screws. It was a toss-up between that and inhibitor, but flathead screws, I hate them. Absolutely, like the worst thing in the world, especially when they've been on the wall for 30 years, they're plastered in paint, and you've got to take a radiator bracket off, or some clips that have been put on with the old black Japan screws. It's the most tedious job in the world.
Yeah.
You got Andy going straight away.
Definitely.
Definitely.
You're old enough to remember them black Japan screws, Forbes. What's your opinion on them?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
2-inch 10 flat-edged screws.
Well, we did a heating system that we had to rip out, and every radiator bracket and every capping down the wall had flat screws on it, and none of the flat screws in the capping would come out. So you ended up having to smash the capping on and then hammer the screw into the wall because you couldn't get it out. It's the worst job in the world. It's worse than working on a...
It's worse than working on a bleep.
I love you, Gibbs.
Yeah, it's worse than working on a macerator. So that's my second one. That's got to go in.
Yeah, I'd definitely be up for that one going in, Curbs. Flatheads, what's the point of them? What they're like you say, they are a nightmare. They won't come out painted. Oh, no, definitely get them in. Get them in quick.
Having to with a flathead screwdriver to get the paint out of the groove just so you can move the screw. It's most old-fashioned doors as well have them in, as you know. So if you've got to take a door off in someone's house in a bedroom, you've normally got 3 hinges with 3 screws in. It's the worst job.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think, again, mate, that's a complete clean sweep.
I think they're going straight in, mate. No doubt about that. They're in.
Yeah.
I love that one.
Yeah, I know. I've never seen you laugh so much ever, mate. You've completely gone.
He just came out with it. It's like flathead screws.
Yeah.
Wasn't expecting
number
that.
2, please.
This might be controversial. DIY bathroom installations. Having to go and put them right. I absolutely hate it. When you've quoted to do a job and their husband can do the plumbing and then they call you back to put it right, shouldn't just hate it. I don't know whether you guys get any of that, but I get it quite often, and it does my head in. Literally frustrates me.
I generally find having to put anybody's work right frustrating, but bathrooms are the one that they seem to get horribly wrong, because it's only sticking a bath in, or it's only fitting a shower. You know, the amount of shower trays you go to where they've put the profile on the wall and they've silicon ducted the profile, but there's no silicon behind it. Oh, the shower tray's leaking. Who fitted your tray? Oh, the builder. That's why. You know, it's bathrooms are a nightmare.
Yeah, Andy, you in the last issue of the mag, like, amazing plug. You were writing about your distaste for bathrooms.
Yeah, I mean, I don't get too involved with bathrooms because I just don't enjoy doing them.
And
I mean, I can.
As well, it's people getting them from suppliers, fitting them themselves, then you have to go around and it's just an absolute mess.
I just don't enjoy doing bathrooms. I just avoid them at all costs, really.
With your love for water as well.
I used to really enjoy doing until the online stuff took over. Now you've got all these places online that sell cheap rubbish, and because it's cheap but it looks all right in the showroom, the customer gets fooled into spending half the money they should do, and the stuff just doesn't last. You know,
or it doesn't even start in the first place. Curbs, it doesn't even fit together.
I had a customer last
twisted baths where the baths are not level.
Yeah.
I had a job 2 years ago where they didn't want to spend money on decent toilets, and they were doing 5 toilets in the house, and they went and bought them from a place that's no longer trading, that went recently, and I told them not to buy them from there, and they bought them, and none of the toilets, even though they're set to 6 litres, none of them will flush a load in the toilet, and that's because the pan is just cheap rubbish. And I told them not to go there, but they didn't listen to me. Now I've got to go back and change them. I've got to change 5 toilets because they can't flush the toilets in there.
Crazy, isn't it?
It is.
See, we were doing some like a roundtable with some other engineers a couple of weeks ago before we went into lockdown, and they said that you quite often come up against these DIY jobs, but like if I'd fitted something and messed it up, and I bring you in to sort it out, and you go, "Oh, who fitted this?" and they go, the builder. Like, is that? Do you just feel like, no, it was you on it?
You can tell when it's someone that's. If a builder's done something, they can make it look reasonable. When a homeowner's done it, they literally haven't got a clue. They've used flexes wherever they can. They look like they've silicon with their elbow instead of their index finger. You know, it's just you can tell. They've put toilet roll holders on upside down so the grub screws on the toilets. It's just all the obvious stuff.
But do you ever call them out on it? Do you ever say, "Look, I know it was you. Maybe next time, just bring me up beforehand"?
Like Andy said, I only get involved in bathrooms normally. Like the current job I'm on, it's a whole house refurb and there's 5 bathrooms in there. So we're having to do everything from scratch. But I don't generally get involved with doing bathroom refurbs because it's too much of a ball ache. You've got to try and get it done in 5 working days. So every trader's got to do what they say when they say they're going to do it. And if you come across a problem, it leads into the second week, which then knocks your next week's work back a bit. So, bathrooms have got to be worth a hell of a lot of money for me even to look at them.
Yeah, I think you've won that one, mate. That one's great.
I think that one goes in. Yeah. It's not just bathrooms either. It's just whether they've had to go at it themselves, whatever, really.
Yeah, any DIY plumbing is normally done very, very badly.
Even if they tried to change a rad valve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
outside taps with a washing machine hose. It's like, no, I haven't done that.
Oh,
I didn't buy that from B&Q.
I've got to go and do one on Saturday.
Can we have 5 things that we can throw in the bin? Because I've got some more ideas now.
You said you didn't hate anything, and now you're like, oh, here we go.
Hang on, I'm just doing a bit of shameless plug here.
Yeah, I like the branding. So the last one, to be honest, you can chuck in another plumbing one if you want. But the last one can be an absolute free-for-all. So if there's anything in life or another industry one. But yeah, Andy, what have you got?
Well, I haven't had enough time to think about another plumbing one. I could probably think of plumbing ones all day, you know.
We could be here all night, couldn't we?
Yeah, we could be. But I've gone outside of plumbing. I've gone to just general life, right? Self-checkouts in supermarkets.
Yeah.
Absolute, utter waste of my life.
See, I'm a big fan, mate.
You're a big fan?
Yeah.
You're a big fan of unidentified objects in bloody packing area or whatever it's bloody called.
I think it's just because I can do
right,
it.
hang on a minute, Joe. Hang on a second. Right, so you go. There's your loaf of bread. You put your loaf of bread through and you scan that in, and you put your packet of biscuits in, scan that in. Oh, you can't scan that in.
Yeah.
A real person's got to come along and help you. And they've got to go, oh, you over there. No, mate, absolutely not. Unidentified objects, it's the whole fact that you're doing the work for them as well. So you don't get it any cheaper because you're doing half the work for them.
No, I think you've taught me round. I think that's happy to go.
And mainly, they are doing people out of work.
Yeah. And if you wouldn't use it, like, in your home life, and if you wouldn't miss it, and if you wouldn't use it at your merchants, then yeah, what's the point?
And they're just crap. They're just rubbish, mate. They're just unidentified objects in bagging area.
Well, my merchants at the moment are open, and they're doing. You have to ring through and put your stuff on, and it's. I don't like it because you don't get to talk to anyone. You're in and you're out.
We're doing that. We're doing that as well at the brand name that I can't mention.
Yeah, the brand names. I'll have to go and beep all of these, mate.
Yeah.
Nice unidentified bottle opener there, mate. Yeah.
Hold on, this is a plug for Stella for Forbesy.
To be honest,
nothing wrong with Stella. It's just you need to be drinking Stella in a Stella glass.
Cheers.
That isn't it, Curbs?
Mr. Kirby, your final one, please.
Right, this is a live thing. Absolutely can't stand it. There's absolutely no reason for it to be on the planet. Celery.
Okay.
It's the most ridiculous. It looks awful. It's got no taste. It shouldn't be in any food. Anyone that says that they enjoy it is a vegan or they just have no taste buds. You know, you can't barbecue it.
You can't barbecue it.
With it.
It doesn't go on a Sunday dinner. You can't have it with a cooked
smoked celery.
It's got no place in my life. So yeah, celery's got to go. It's pointless.
I mean, like, to play devil's advocate, you could dip it in stuff, like in the hummus and all that. Like,
I've got breadsticks for that.
Yeah. It's just a different version.
Or carrot sticks. Carrots are ridiculously boring vegetable as well, but I'd rather eat hummus with that than I would celery. The only thing the celery's got going for it is it's got a scooped shape, so you can scoop the pot. But apart from that,
more out.
Yeah, like that's nature, isn't it?
Yeah. But then the taste of the celery hits the back of your throat and makes you heave. No, it's not good.
It's stringy as well. You know when you eat it and it's like, and you get the strinkle.
Yeah. People say, yeah, put it in chili, it's great. No, it's not. Mince is great in chili. Tomatoes great in chili. Kidney beans are great in chili. Onion, celery, no. It's got to go.
What do you reckon, Paul?
No, definitely not. We absolutely use loads of it for cooking. We use it in stocks.
Yeah, you use
bolognese. We put in bolognese sauces. No, not Ella, but we use it loads. Believe it or not, we absolutely use loads of it in cooking. It just forms a base with carrot and onion and celery. It forms a base on stocks and a lot of dishes.
It's classed as a superfood in Peterborough, isn't it? That's a delicacy.
What do you think Peterborough is? Andy, you've got to decide and vote on this, mate.
You know what, right? I mean, I'm not mad on it. I don't dislike it. I'm not like Curbs, but I'm not
I'm very neutral.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of it. I know what you're saying, Forbesy.
You wouldn't put my swagging tool in, so you've got to go with this one.
Purely because of the way Curbs came out with, the venom. The pure venom for celery.
Yeah, I know. To be honest, I could listen to Kirby and Forbes just talk about things they don't like forever as like a 24-hour
really, Curbs. I'm putting celery in. Celery's in, mate.
Right, Ian, you got one more. last chance. Knock one out of the park.
My one is waiters and waitresses coming over to you when you've got a mouthful of food and asking you how the meal is going. Why on earth do they do that?
Yeah.
They know that they are going to do it. They know when you've got a mouthful and you've got to go. It really does piss me right off. That does.
See, I got both sides of this one because I've done a lot of waiting and stuff when I was at uni and things like that. But yeah, I'm the same. Whenever you're at a restaurant, it's like they got a sixth sense. As soon as you take a bite, oh, how is it? But on the flip side, when you are like doing the waiting stuff, you get the other thing. So the one that used to annoy me from the other side is when you go, oh, did you guys order the steak and it's not for the table? And they go, no, but I'll have it if it's going free. And you're like, yeah, thanks. I'll just leave it here then. Well done. And you get that about 19 times a shift.
Oh.
But no, as a punter, I get exactly what that is.
Yeah, my thought behind them asking you when you've got a mouthful is because if the food's rubbish, they can't understand what you're saying anyway, so they'll just go yeah, and then walk off.
Well, it's clever, yeah.
I think it's one of them things, right? If the food was a load of crap to begin with, right, you wouldn't have a mouthful of it, would you?
No.
You'd have waved them over and you'd have gone, excuse me, mate, come on, this is crap.
Yeah.
No, it's not all right. So, yeah, it's the stating the obvious, isn't it? They're coming over. Is everything all right, sir? Of course it bloody is. I've eaten 3/4 of it. Yeah. So yeah, I can see what you mean there, Ian. Definitely, mate. I like that one.
It's always bugged me.
And it's so like it's disingenuous as well. They don't mean it, do they?
No, they're still getting paid whether your food's shite or not. It's
they don't care. What are they going to do?
Yeah, in America,
if you're 3/4 of the way through that pizza in Pizza Express, and they come over and say, "Is that okay, sir?" And you go, "No, mate, it's rubbish." What are they going to do then?
It's rubbish, but I'm still going to finish it.
Forbes, you should adopt this technique for your day-to-day work life. So next time you fit a boiler, just let yourself in halfway through the next day and be like, "Is just the boiler all right?" Or next time you do a bathroom and they're in the bathroom, just put your head through and be like, "Is everything okay with the toilet?"
Shower working fine.
Water hot enough in your shower.
Yeah, this is a good one actually.
That's it. You just literally wouldn't do that though, would you? That's the thing, and it's they just do that. I mean, there's even a chain of restaurants that have a spoon they leave on your table, a wooden spoon that once they've asked you, they remove it so they know that the other members of staff know that they've asked you if your food is all right.
I know that chain of restaurants. Can we not even mention them?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Come on, everybody bloody knows.
I'll show it to the lawyers, mate. I'm not really. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I know what you mean, though.
Is it known for chicken?
Yeah, it's a famous chicken restaurant.
On all the little chains famous for chicken, it's sort of like jumped on the bandwagon, hasn't it?
Yeah, with slightly different names.
Yeah.
Yeah, I reckon that goes in.
Yeah, I think that goes in as well.
That's a very good one, actually.
Yeah.